Now tell everybody how
Tell
many
it.
kids you got.
Tell it. Y'all beat us.
Yes.
Yeah, and I keep telling Akita, this is not a competition that anybody wants to win. All right, like it's
Look, you win, man.
Don't congratulate us on this.
We're the Purefoys, and we'll be alright. We'll be alright.
That was an awesome story of just I think it seems like it became real, right? It became like, really, what am I doing? I'm not just impacting my life, but I'm impacting somebody else's kid. Like, what am I doing? Like, how am I going to show up here?
Yeah.
But I want to ask, I want to like transition a little bit to like present time.
Okay.
And you guys mentioned how you have like all these different things going on. You're influencers. You're in an influencer type space. How are you guys handling the pressures of that and balancing it all? Because I know, we tap a little bit into that space, and there's a lot of pressure. And as you're getting more popular, and as things are beginning to evolve, it's like great opportunities happening. But I'm sure that there are other pressures that maybe you didn't expect.
Staying true to who we are, is really how we get through it. We have been working hard at staying consistent for a really, really long time.
That's a big thing for us.
Yeah, because we have so many things going on, like ministry, the kids, like homeschooling, all these little buckets that we have going on. So staying consistent is really our hardest thing. But I noticed that when we come together, like he edits videos, I make videos. Sometimes I edit them every now and then, but as long as we keep our communication open and what we're gonna do, that's the only way we've been doing it thus far.
And the questionnaire that you guys sent us, like, we really do pride ourselves on being a team, and we have like specific rules for that. I pretty much handle like the business end of things, while Nakia is capable of it. She's got a lot going on with homeschooling and also trying to build her brand and stuff like that. So I'm into that kind of stuff. And
he is a communications major.
And I love to talk. So like that's where I fall in. Like she said, staying true to who we are. We could easily go the negative route and get popular by drama.
Yeah.
But we got some good game from some really big influencers in the YouTube game. We've got like 1.5 million subscribers. They kind of like befriended us and kind of took us under the wing, and it's just like your content, while sensationalism might be popping, but that's stuff that's not going to last. As we are slowly building up our brand, slowly building up our influence, or the type of influence that we want to put in the world, we have to be proud of who we are at the end of the day. If we start, going to twerk videos and, me exposing her body and just, making her do all these weird things just to get views, then at the end of the day, what message am I sending to my sons? What message am I sending to my daughters? And the people who have put like trust in us to like give them advice or to lead them a certain way, where does that lead them if we're going to be doing the same thing that everybody else does? So it's really important to hold on to those values and just be us.
You said it right. What type of message would you be sending to your family if you were to take that route? And I think what we need, especially now in this climate, we need something refreshing. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen all the twerk videos, we've seen we've seen all that. Like, we need something positive, something to represent us in a positive way. You said, do we need?
You seen all this work videos?
That's a lot of twerking.
Maybe have no. But I mean, we need something that represents us in a positive way, and there's no better time to do that than now.
Definitely. I wonder, as we're talking about relationships and growing together as a couple, you mentioned like staying consistent, but do you feel like there are some times where like there are some seasons where maybe it's not the season for you to be doing like certain things, and maybe you got to back away from it a little bit, for the sake of the marriage or for the health of the marriage, or like how are you guys? I don't know if it's the same
Balancing.
question. Yeah, it might be the same,
I
but
think
Yeah.
like the ups and downs of it, because and then you have six children.
Yeah.
Six children. I got one that is we have five, but I have one that I'm like half virtual teaching, and I'm kind of like where the teacher at? Like, what?
Yeah.
So, like, it's just a lot. How are you? Do you guys look at it as like different seasons that you're in?
um, when we're going through something, I've noticed that we just change our content. Like,
Hmm.
we won't, if we're going through something like with the kids or something like that, like, we're not going to put their business out there or anything like that. We really just change the content. We mostly focus on ourselves. When we're going through something, we'll focus on the kids, so it's really changing the content. We stay pretty consistent.
Yeah. There was a time when I was doing everything
Mhm.
as far as YouTube was concerned, and it did get overwhelming because I was working 3 jobs,
Mhm.
and then having to create content, come up with ideas. I was doing the whole gambit, and there was a time where I basically just took the whole summer off, and that kind of like negatively affected our momentum because like
Yeah.
we were really like trending upwards as far as like consistent viewership and stuff like that. But like I had to fall back because I was going insane,
Mhm.
and it's just like this. And then again, going back to our core value, when we first started this thing, we wanted to have something that we could always look back on, and just, if not for nothing, have a collection of really dope home videos
Mhm.
for our own enjoyment. We really just try as the best as possible to stay consistent. We're not going to compromise ourselves to produce content for people we don't know. And if we're going through things, we really shift our focus on us and healing us before we can put something out to people, because we're not fake.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know,
be on here like.
yeah, I'm not gonna smile for a picture with her if
Uh-huh.
we're not in that space. And again,
I
just
won't
like,
ask for a picture.
right, you know
She's like, you
it's
don't have to
just
worry
being
about
Like,
it.
let's get that
right,
straight.
You don't have to worry about
kind of
it.
thing. So like we have to heal first before we can do anything together.
We know all too well because we do a little bit of stuff together, and
I'm saying
you're
that.
not in the-
Wow, y'all do a lot of
y'all
it.
doing
it.
it,
Yeah,
period. All right, you're doing it,
we doing
period.
it.
All right, you're putting out amazing content and getting that word out, and doing things that again are refreshing. So don't stop putting little on. You're just doing it.
Thank you, thank you. I
But
think for us,
yeah,
we take little break. Like we haven't put out a couple of things in the past couple of weeks.
we
A
haven't
few
put out
weeks.
videos
Videos,
in the
right?
past couple of weeks, but we've still been posting, putting out content, creating content.
Hmm.
And that's, like like you said, we have our seasons, and when you have a season, you focus on something else,
Right.
and then vice versa, because
Mhm.
we've been through it where and we tried, when we've had little issues between each other, and we try to record something, and like whatever it is just like
Nope.
No.
nothing. It's
Flat,
dead.
dead.
Monotone.
Is no love, and people can tell.
Yeah.
People can tell. But what society will tell you is, put the beef out there, argue
Mhm.
on camera,
Yeah.
and people, then expose themselves in that manner. And like, I've had that thought before. We've had that thought of like staging
Yeah.
things, or like even like some of the pranks, or that like people do, like I'm
Yeah.
cheating prank, and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, because I will hook this woman if she cheats on me.
Put in a
Alright.
headlock, like
Yeah, she would get choked out, and I'm going to jail all because somebody's playing around.
On TV,
Right.
on TV.
So,
Right.
but like and at the end of the day, it's not worth it. As much as we love our followers and subscribers and people who send us DMs and ask for advice and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they're strangers.
Yeah.
But
Like
most of them, I think, want to see wholesome content anyway.
but at the same time, like we don't owe them
Yeah.
anything. of course we live as, you know, our lives as examples unto God, but at the same time, like, if I never make another YouTube video, like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not going to affect me anyway. You know, they don't pay our bills. You know, they're not here supporting this marriage, this life that we built together. So, you know, like, we look at it from that lens as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
We it also sounds like, I don't know from where, but you guys have a good foundational grounding, and it seems like you've been around other people with wisdom that have kind of helped you mature and grow, you know, in your marriage. Because,
support system.
Yeah.
But how important is having someone to go to for advice, for accountability? How important is that to you guys?
It's super important. I know that, you know, he has his person that he can go to and talk about me if he needs to, and his person won't, you know, he won't judge me or anything like that. He'll, you know, work it out with your wife or whatever. He vent to me, and I have my person. And I think that's so important to just have somebody, you know, and those people aren't gonna dog us out, you know, like, oh, you don't need to be with him anymore, you know, like, but they're positive, you know, they're positive people in our lives who will, well, maybe if you say it this way, or maybe if you do it this way, or just get down and dirty, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is that we need at that moment, they're really positive. So I think that's really important. And also we have our parents. You know, we have his parents, we had my dad and stepmom, we had my mom and my stepfather. And I look at my parents, like, me personally, I look at my both sets of my parents. I look at them as what not to do and what to do. So, you know, like, because they both have successful marriages, because I have two sets of parents, come from two blended families, but because they both have, their second marriages were successful, I can take the good and I can take the bad, you know, and that's one thing I really love about that.
Yeah, her dad was like a huge influence on me when he was with us. He embraced me like right away, and he just was always just willing to give that wisdom, you know, and he's a talker like me, so like we'd be able to have like those conversations. Even with her stepmom would just always call and, you know, just be there for us. And then my mom has always been like this shining example. Like, my mom could do no wrong in my eyes, but she's always been very level-headed and objective, and she's not afraid or, you know, to call me on my stuff. You know, she's always guided me, you know, with God in mind, you know, from, you know, like, this is the right thing to do. You know, if you feel this way, then you need to do this because the Bible says this, that, and the third. And, you know, my parents have been on both ends of the spectrum too, while they didn't get divorced, but, like, you know, there's a time where they were considering it, you know, and my dad was a trash husband, you know, but, you know, thank God he got saved and gave his life to the Lord, and really began to walk the Christian life to where he can then be, you know, a shining example. My dad was always a provider. He was always a hustler and always a go-getter. So I learned those things, how to support and provide for my family. But he didn't teach me how to love my family, you know, because he was off doing his own thing. But my mom, you know, she showed me perseverance. She showed me grit. She showed me how you stick with someone through the ups and downs, you know, and you take your vows seriously. And now they're on the other side of it, you know, and, you know, they become just like leaders in the community. They become, you know, like just pillars in the Christian scene down here, and just like a ray of light. And now they can give me advice. Thank you. And give me advice on the other side of it as well. So we've gotten it. We've been covered in wisdom, covered in prayer, covered in examples of what to do and what not to do. And
that's not just with our marriage, but that's with parenthood as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a lot of wisdom, a lot of nuggets. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. No. You know, it would have been a wrap. Yeah. Year one.
Yeah, because year one, he was still following year one.
Year one was rough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, but a lot of that was, it was such a quick turnaround. You know, we met back up July 4th. We got engaged the following February, and then we were married that following October. So within the 18-month span, we went from me dating her while dating other women for a few months to me first time ever being monogamous. To
So that first year was hard, yeah.
Yeah, so you know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, that I had to get out of me, as far as like physical, and there was also, you know, on both sides that we had to get used to being married and loving each other the right way.
It's a process.
Yeah, and that makes me think maybe there's like one challenge that you wouldn't mind sharing with us that that you guys had to overcome as a couple, and how you were able to do that.
Mm-hmm.